Denise, guess what?
What's Abby?
We got chismes.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a new episode of We Got Chisme. So my name is Denise, and this is
Xavier, Sabi. No,
Sabicito.
the only person who called me like that.
That's not true. Some people call you Sabicito.
Who?
Me, myself, and I.
There you go.
Anywho, me and Sabicito have a very fun episode. It's a lot of drama. A lot of drama. So those of you who like drama, who like to have, their chisme with a hint of spiciness.
Yeah,
You,
but hear it from others, not yours. Chisme.
thank God, because these are a little bit messy, and I do not like to be involved with that. So the title of the episode, in honor of Thanksgiving, of course, is called "When Turkey Day Goes Wrong."
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, yeah. So, the first story that we have today comes from the subreddit Best of Redditor update, and the title is "Am I the asshole for ruining Thanksgiving?" Dun 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 dun. I, 30 female, met my boyfriend, 30 male, 3 years ago. Before me, he was together with his high school sweetheart. They fell out of love and broke up. A year later, we started dating. His mom, however, was still heartbroken about it. I was very understanding and thought she needed time to get to know me. The ex basically grew up with them and they saw her as a part of the family. For the first year of my relationship, his mom would call me ex's name until my boyfriend got angry once and told her to be nice. She laughed it off and said it was just a habit. After that, she started calling me the wrong name, Janet instead of Jenny. Like these are fictional names for the story. I corrected her for a couple of times, but she seemed to like hurting me, so I ignored it later. My boyfriend has two sisters, and a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, we were invited to the barbecue at the older sister's house. I was in the kitchen with my boyfriend's mom, the sisters, and one of the husbands. The older sister then talked about how my boyfriend praised my cooking to her husband, and the mom was listening. She then said it out loud. Sure, why don't we let Janet make the turkey this year? The sisters giggle and look at each other and say, that's a great idea. Remember, Janet, it's the wrong name. Her name is Jenny, right? So the sisters giggle and look at each other and say, that's a great idea. I didn't tell my boyfriend what happened. On Thanksgiving Day, we went to his mom's house with the usual wine and dessert. She was shocked. Everybody was shocked. And I said, what? I thought Janet was bringing the turkey. There was yelling, crying, and then we got kicked out. My boyfriend was so angry with me. He has not talked to me since. I think it's over, but I still don't think I did anything wrong. Did I?
I mean, it's the wrong name, so
Janet was bringing the turkey.
I get that Janet was speaking the turkey. I said, like, that's fine. But the boyfriend got upset. But that's okay. That's okay. So she gave him like a taste of their own medicine. That's a good one.
Yeah, the fact that the dude is very, very annoying, man.
She
Yeah,
probably was like, okay, that they already have me like, me tienen los cojones hinchado. So probably say like, okay, I hope Janet make a good turkey.
right? She's
Yeah.
like, I don't know who the Janet is, but let's take her turkey. Yep, I don't think she did anything wrong. I will have done the exact same thing. And that's a mother-in-law from hell.
Yeah. She's very like, I think it was better off that he doesn't call you back.
Yeah.
You don't want to be dealing with that for the rest. and especially the other sisters, but it seems like they just go along with her. So
Mm.
she did fine.
And on that note, update.
Oh, did he call her back?
Wait for it. Hi everyone. I don't know how to start this, but I want to say, wow, I did not expect this amount of support. Thank you for the not the asshole. I will answer some questions before the update. But if you're not interested, skip the last paragraph. So Thanksgiving is usually held at mother-in-law's or oldest daughter, which is female 32, because they have the biggest dining rooms. It's usually the same people bringing the same dishes, and it has been like this for years. Mother-in-law is in charge of the turkey, my boyfriend the dessert, etc. I don't know if they call each other to check up. I have been to one before with boyfriend and we brought dessert. Mother-in-law and I have no direct contact. If you see my text conversation with her, it looks like I'm that creep that slides into your DM every now and then with a hi, except I send congratulations on birthdays and Christmas, Easter's greetings, etc. She never talked to or about me, not even with boyfriend. And even if I was in the same room as her, she will talk to me in a third person. Pardon, she will talk about me in a third person. At the barbecue, her main issue was a sister-in-law and her husband were discussing my cooking in a positive way, saying that they wanted me to invite them to dinner sometime. Mother-in-law got triggered and that started what went down. So even if it sounded weird for many here, it wasn't really if you know her. At Thanksgiving, only the ones knowing about Janet, in quotes, understood what was going on. The sister-in-laws, father-in-law, etc. The rest were just confused and horrified. My boyfriend was very confused and angry with his mom for wanting to kick me out and told her he was leaving too. I live 5 minutes drive from mother-in-law. That was all the time I had to explain. He got really pissed, so he dropped me off and drove away. I have no idea what he did afterwards, nor how the rest of the family celebrated. I ordered in and watched the Wheel of Time. I texted him apologizing both the same night and the next day and tried calling over the weekend without success. The update. Yesterday, I was at the party that both boyfriend and I planned to go to pre-war. He showed up and hugged and kissed me, and we spent the evening together. He asked me if we could go to my place afterwards to talk, and I agreed. He told me that he was not mad about what I did, but about the fact that I didn't tell him, and that he looked like an idiot because of it. I apologized again. I told him that I do not think that I could or want to make amends with mother-in-law ever, and I am not sure if that's what I want for my future. She's a great grandmother to sister-in-law's children, but will be the same with ours when she obviously does not and will not like me. I also told him that I cannot be with someone who will ghost me for 2 or 3 weeks when he's angry with me. So we broke up. I am sad because I love him very, very much, but this is probably for the best in the long run.
Wait, he goes for 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
He hugging and kiss. Ay, Dios mío, no. Yeah. So been breaking up a long time ago.
Yep. Many will say mother-in-law won, but I was never in a competition with her. She can think she won because I do not care, and at least now she will start using my name when addressing boyfriend's next girl. Right.
Only she says Janet.
Yep. Well, there is another update. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know, girl. She come back with a boy?
We
No
are
one to
engaged.
the fuck? How you pass from breaking up to get just read the update.
Getting engaged. Hi everyone, remember me? This has been one wild ride. My boyfriend ghosted me after I ruined his mom's Thanksgiving. We broke up. I heard from mutual friends that he was seeing his high school sweetheart again. I saw that coming. I was not bothered, even though I was dying inside. About about a week, 3 weeks ago, he texted me out of the blue asking if he could come and talk to me. I told him we could meet up for a walk or maybe coffee, because I did not trust having him in my apartment, lol. He agreed. The moment I saw him, I knew I was fucked because no matter how much his douche hurt me, I still love him. I play cool, however. He was not cool and started telling me how hard these past few months were for him and how he thought about me and missed me all the time. He apologized about everything that happened. His mom's treatment of me, him not thinking it was a big deal, and not coming to my rescue when she was hurtful. He said he misjudged the situation since I never say anything he thought and I had it under control. Because I thought you were handling her well. He apologized about ghosting me. He said that he was very hurt and felt deceived by me. He does not feel like this anymore, and that his anger got the best of him. At the time, he could not understand why I would do something like this behind his back. When he's angry, he tends to keep away. I asked him about high school sweetheart. He was surprised I knew about it. He said he'd reach out to him when she heard he was single again. His mom probably arranged that. It did not work, however, and he told her he was not interested after a couple weeks of dating. Now, for his mom, when she heard he broke it off with high school sweetheart, she got mad and threatened to cut him off, especially if he went back to that bitch. He's always been very close with his family. After the Thanksgiving fiasco, after the Thanksgiving fiasco, he was not keeping the same contact with them, and after his mom's threat, he went no contact. I guess ghosting is his expertise. These last couple of weeks were great, and it was like we just pick up where we left. I know it's not healthy to glance over what happened, but for now, I just want to be with him and be happy. We will have all of our lives, hopefully, to talk things over and figure out how to be better at communicating. He asked me to marry him on Friday, and I said yes. We made an Instagram post about engagement. His mom does not have Instagram, but she found out somehow because not even an hour later, she started bombarding his phone with calls and texts. Nobody from his family but his dad congratulated us yet. He called and congratulated us both and told me I was his favorite in-law, and then he always wished to have me as a daughter. I'm a bit sad, by the way. I come from a broken home, and when I met my boyfriend and saw how welcoming his family was to his ex, I counted myself lucky. I thought I was going to have the family I never had, and that my children will have a better life than myself. It seems we are going to have to rely on ourselves and our friends to create this family life I was dreaming of for my children. I don't know when we're getting married. We'll be talking about relocating to London because my fiance is half British. We will see what happens, but for now, I want to say that I have never been happier in my entire life.
Good for you, girl. Well,
Yep.
at least the issue with your in-law will be fixed since you guys gonna relocate.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. That's bad. But that's fine. So if she's happy now, I guess that's the only thing that matters. So good luck in London. Good luck in London, girl, because you will need a lonely snap for place to visit. But enjoy. But the good thing is like now, at least the father-in-law, you know, since they only want to be some sense of humanity, I would say, a common sense of personality or know how to treat others. So that's fine. That's fine. As long as you guys are happy in our way and he's keeping his distance from his mom, which is not gonna be forever, of course, but at least you give her like a treatment, like either you accept or you out. So I guess that's how she will see it. So hopefully that is, and that situation get fixed. Because
Yeah.
in-law can be very stubborn.
Maybe the distance will be better, like them being
Away.
far away from the family, it will make it better because
Yeah.
otherwise the mom is always going to be interfering. But I don't know. I will, someone who goes to you for 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know if I can
Eh,
forgive
people,
that, but okay.
it's okay. People are, you know, she was in love with the boy. She was just trying to put her, how you say, her boundaries. She set up her boundaries and said like, okay, doesn't work for me. But then, she saw the boy is like, mi amor, my Romeo has come back to me.
It melted.
And she melted and like, and Romeo is like, I got this Juliet under my pocket.
And she was like, ah.
Let's take care. Like, let's go back for where we restart. That's it. Poof.
Best of luck.
Let's not go back.
That's all for you.
I wish you a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm. A happy family for your kids.
Mhm.
So let's move on.
So in number two,
So this one comes from the subreddit Am I the Asshole? And the title is Am I the Asshole for Living in the Middle of Thanksgiving Dinner Because of Pumpkin Pie? So my 32 female mother, 60 female host Thanksgiving dinner at her house every year. It's a small event with with my parents, me, my brother's family, and my sister-in-law's family attending. We avoid family quarrels by implementing a strict no politics rule and trying our best to be civil. I should probably mention that we're not particularly close-knit family. We rarely see each other beyond these events since my brother lives in South Africa and I travel a lot due to my work. Thanksgiving is important to my mom since it's one of the rare times we're all together. Anyway, the main problem I have with my mother is her constant critique of me. She has a habit of making passive aggressive comments about my life choices, from my career to my lack of children to the way I dress. I have addressed this with her multiple times, but she does not really seem aware of the way I dress. I'm sorry. But she doesn't really seem aware of it. My father claims that it is just her way of fussing and expressing that she cares. It does not, it does hurt though, because my brother is never criticized in the same manner. I cannot entirely fault her for her criticism since I did majorly mess up my life a few months ago due to depression, and it has affected her opinion of me negatively. It does not excuse the way I acted, but I just wanted to explain why I left. By the time we finished dinner, I was a bit prickly because of some of her commentary. I made a cake for dessert. I was explicitly put in charge of it, and no one specified what exactly I should make. So I opted for maple cheesecake. I did my best, and I think it looked okay. Mom normally makes pumpkin pie, but I really hate pumpkins. They make me gag. So I thought perhaps we could try something new. As I was bringing out the cheesecake, my mom eyed somewhat wearily and announced that she had decided to make the usual pie as well. This caught me off guard. I asked why she didn't tell me beforehand, and she said something like, well, we figured you do your own thing, so I thought it was best to have a backup. She went on to cut the pie and serve it to everyone, instructing me to leave the cheesecake in the kitchen. When someone asked to try my dessert, she said, let's not mix two flavors at once, like too many flavors at once, which I just felt passive aggressive. I know it's immature for an adult to get this upset over a triviality, but I just politely refused as she was handing me a slice of pie, retrieved my coat, and left. People were calling after me, I think, but by that point I was crying for some reason, and it would have been too humiliating to have an emotional outburst in front of everyone for no real reason. My mom just texted me saying that it was incredibly rude and immature of me to live like that, especially on Thanksgiving. My brother also messaged me saying I'm acting irrational, and I feel horrible for living so abruptly, especially because my parents are getting older and we're already not close. Something about my mother seems to turn me into a neurotic teenager, and I hate it. So, am I the asshole for leaving because of pumpkin pie? I don't think she left because of pumpkin pie. I think she left because her mom was being disrespectful for and disregarding her feelings.
yeah, because if you leave after the pumpkin, it's like, okay, girl, like get it together.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it could be like she already have enough of her mom bombarding her since the moment she gets there into that point.
Mm-hmm.
So if you left because of the pumpkin, yes, you are the asshole. If you left for the other reason we stays, you are not the asshole.
No, you're not the asshole. I do not believe you're the asshole. I believe that all you did was put your mental health first and protect it by leaving because like she said she didn't want to cry in front of everyone, she didn't want to have an emotional outburst, so instead of being in the situation that was triggering her, she just removed herself and she's gonna deal with her feelings by herself, and I think that's better than start screaming or yelling in front of everyone. So I think she did the best, especially if she was struggling with depression. So, girl, you did the best that you could. I do not blame you. I know mothers can be infuriating sometimes. So,
All
I
right. Look,
I know, I feel bad for her. cannot imagine. My mom is like, it's very politely when she asks for things. She can get annoying sometimes, but she most of the time is very mindful of what she's saying.
Yeah, mine too.
hmm But sometimes I do.
No, sometimes she don't. My mom doesn't get annoying. I'm like, hmm. I say no, it's no. It's not.
Mom has this habit of being very dramatic sometimes.
No, mine.
That makes it hard to deal with.
Hey, it's
I
mother.
am that way too, so I
I
gotta
know. Like, wonder where you get that from, huh?
exactly. So I gotta learn. Once I learn to deal with myself, I think I learned to deal
Oh,
out.
trust me, you would have your mom figure out because
Mm,
it's quite dramatic at times.
yeah. So yeah, every comment is saying basically the same thing. They're saying like, I think the top comment is not the asshole if your mother's way of fussing and expressing that she cares looks, sounds, and feels like she's been deliberately nasty person, then I'm guessing she's really just being again this word, a deliberately nasty person, walks like a dog and all that. I tell your father this. Your mother premeditated the whole dessert thing right down to the kick in the teeth of excluding the dessert you made from the table. She got off on being cruel in this petty way for whatever reason. This kind of thing is no accident and not care in any way. Golden Boy brother cannot see it because he's never the target. Dad is trying to see it through the best possible lens. Your mother will not admit to herself that she's doing, even as she deliberately does it. Their blindness does not mean that she is not doing it, which is true.
Me?
Okay, I'm so sorry you went through that, Bum. I hope you have a better Thanksgiving next year. Well, this year, because this post is from last year.
If
I,
you arrange show up.
let's see, this post was from 357 days ago. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, story number three. Okay, story number three, it comes from the subreddit Am I the Asshole? And the title is Am I the Asshole for Canceling Thanksgiving? Yeah. So I, 40 female, have hosted Thanksgiving for my family, husband, children, mother, siblings, and their spouses for the last 20 years. There was never an issue until my brother met his now wife, Julie, 5 years ago. Julie is very big into fat diets, Atkins, keto, South Beach. And every year she sends me a list of foods that she cannot eat and a list that she can. Last year, I cooked her the exact keto foods that she wanted, and she was upset the entire meal because my brother did not want to eat it with her, so they fought at the table. Last week, she sent me a text message that she's now on the fertility diet as they're starting IVF, and she sent me another list of foods that she cannot eat and a planned menu for me to cook for her. I texted her back and told her that this year I was making one meal and one meal only, and she could either eat that or bring her own food. She texted back and told me that I was being selfish and I did not care about her. My brother called me up the next day and asked if I was happy about ruining Thanksgiving, and I started to yell about how at their barbecue last summer they catered to my food allergies. She says, I'm deadly allergic to strawberries and have an EpiPen. I told my brother that this was not the same as a life-threatening food allergy, that this was a dietary choice and it changes every year. He called my mother, who told him that we all find it difficult to keep up with Julie's dietary needs, and that if she wants a special food, she needs to bring it them herself. Now my entire family is fighting with each other. My brother will not speak to me, and sister-in-law is posting nasty things about me on Facebook. I talked to my husband about this, and he said that it was ridiculous high school bullshit drama. He told me that he would be fine canceling the whole meal and it being just our family. I agree with him and sent everyone a text message. I told them that Thanksgiving at my house is canceled. I am serving Thanksgiving menu. If they want to come over and eat with us, they're welcome to do so. My sister is thrilled that I finally say something about it. She hosts Christmas dinner and is also tired of cooking extra meals. My mom, however, is upset and that we're all fighting and thinks that I should have canceled the meal. Now I'm starting to feel guilty, but my husband and my son say that I need to stand my ground and to not give in to Julie and my brother. So am I the asshole for canceling Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
Nope.
The
Fuck.
first thing that you say when she said like she sent her a list for stuff for her to cook, I'm like, bitch, bring your food.
Thank
Like,
you.
why? Why people feel so entitled?
And then get mad that the husband did not eat the food with her.
Then she started making a fuss on the table. Yeah, they have no, how you get respect for others. Yeah,
And they compare it to the deadly strawberry allergies. You're choosing this. She did not choose to be allergic to strawberries.
not sure.
You are choosing your lifestyle.
You choosing your diet. So, because I honestly, before when my older sister, when I used to go to Thanksgiving there or Christmas dinner or New Year's, he always somebody who was like on a specific diet.
Mm-hmm.
But that person used to bring his own food. Like, it's not like it was he bring his own meal, but it's stuff that he was cooking that he can just mix that with. For instance, like the way they would cook the meat or other like companions of the meat, and he just put everything together and he just eat it with everybody else and enjoy his meal. What is to make a big fuss about it and like posting stuff on Facebook? Like these are people that have no emotional capacity at all.
Nope.
But yeah.
Annoying. But yeah, she was voted not the asshole. A lot of people are saying the same thing. Like top comment is not the asshole. If you have made life choices, you're responsible for them. The host does not have to accommodate it. The comparison to deadly allergies is just stupid.
The host doesn't have to accommodate nobody.
Yep.
Come into my house with whatever I have. Either
Mm.
you like it or don't eat it.
Okay. That was a quick.
This is our season. The stupidity is coming breathe, to blossom again.
I agree. Let's go to story number 4.
Sure, go ahead.
It's a bit long, but I found it. You will see. So the title, well, it comes from the subreddit Best of Redditor Updates, and the title is pardon, Guest Stole or Thanksgiving Turkey. A
The
multi
guest stole a Thanksgiving turkey. The guest?
the guest
Okay.
stole a Thanksgiving turkey. A multi-year story. So you will
Okay.
see. Um, the original post was November 25, 2022. It's a bit old. So it says, I'm confused, I'm frustrated, I need to vent. We hosted Thanksgiving this year. Husband and I are 2 kids, husband's siblings, nieces, nephews, and most importantly, husband's gravely ill mother. We are all at peace that this is Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm sorry, that this Thanksgiving and Christmas will probably be our last holidays together. Hmm? It has been emotional and exhausting, but we really wanted to make a memorable day that everyone will enjoy. Our daughter, Mary, is visiting from college, and one day before she flew in, she asked if her boyfriend, Chris, can come over for Thanksgiving since he's actually flying to her city to visit friends over the break. We never met Chris before, but to be honest, we are not wild about him. As soon as Mary started dating him, we started seeing some worrying changes in her. Her son, who is just a couple of years older, confided in us that Mary is getting into the party scene largely because of Chris. We have tried gently bringing up our concerns with Mary, but she shuts it down and starts pulling away from us. So, because of this, we did not want to alienate,
Alienate?
yes, alienate her.
Mhm.
We say Chris could visit, but they need to stay in separate rooms. She said that won't matter because he's booked a hotel room and she will be staying there with him the whole weekend. Okay. Cut to Thanksgiving. Mary and Chris arrive. He's not the greatest. He makes a couple rude, snide remarks throughout the visit and hits the alcohol way harder than it's appropriate. My family was in a very earnest mood, if that makes sense. Lots of emotion, and he was just dismissive and flippant and cast a shadow on everything. At one point, everyone started telling stories about their favorite holidays at mother-in-law's house when when she will go all out for family parties. My husband and I stopped working in the kitchen to join the conversation. When we go back to the kitchen after maybe half an hour, I went to check the turkey in the oven and it was gone, completely missing. I asked my husband if he did something with the turkey and he was just as confused as I was. We looked all over the kitchen and the house and could not find it. Go out to the living room and ask everyone if they know what happened to the turkey, and no one knows what we're talking about. At this point, I realized Chris is not around. I pulled Mary to the side and asked where he is, because I do not want to jump to conclusions and make accusations. She said that he had to go to meet up with some friends. I asked her to text him and ask if he knows what happens to the turkey, and Mary kind of rolled her eyes. At this point, it's dawning on me that Chris probably stole the turkey and left out the back door, well, where everyone's sharing stories about mother-in-law. But I'm so confused why anyone will do something like that. I cannot bring myself to actually make the accusation out loud. So we were left in the terrible position of having everything else ready but no turkey. We had to break it to the family that we had no turkey, and everyone was confused and sad. Mary said that she had to get going to an event with Chris, which deeply disappointed me. I told her as much, and she just said she will see us again later this weekend. My in-laws went driving around to restaurants and grocery stores and pieced together enough things that we were able to have a meal much later than expected, but it felt like the whole day was ruined. Everyone was kind of murmuring about Chris leaving around the time the turkey disappeared, but no one actually accused him out loud because it's such an explosion allegation and that is actually not proof. I'm confused why anyone will do such a thing and heartbroken because my mother-in-law did not deserve this at all. At one point, she teared up but pulled it together. I'm also increasingly angry with my daughter, but I feel like I cannot say anything because she will just pull away more. So there is, since the posts are old, Best of Predator updates have like some of the top comments and things like that. So one comment says, wait, the turkey was almost ready. Wouldn't it have been super hot and difficult to carry? And OP says, that's why I have not formally said anything because it doesn't make sense how he could steal a hot turkey. I strongly suspect Chris stole it, but it's such a cruel and strange thing to do, and the logistics of it does not make sense. And then somebody else commented, could it be a neighbor? And she's like, I do not have any reason to think a neighbor did this. Also, Chris disappeared right when the turkey died. Wild. He took a whole ass turkey.
Well,
Yeah. And the way that everyone was like, we do not want to come around to make this accusation. I'd be like, come on, took my turkey.
that's people. Well, now you have your suspicion about Chris that he was not good for your daughter. So,
I don't think I will have ever,
uh,
ever, ever imagined that someone will take a hot turkey out of the oven.
and then just leave the back door.
Yep.
That's. Do you have any update on this, or that's it?
Yeah. There's an update, same post, 8 hours later. I was
Did it
talking,
reappear?
huh?
The turkey reappear?
Imagine. I was talking with my son today, and he told me that last night Chris started taunting him over text about the missing turkey. So that settles it. Chris stole the turkey basically as a big fuck to you all. My son did not say anything at the time because he did not want to make people more upset than they already were. One of husband's siblings is very mad at us for how things turned out and how mother-in-law was disrespected. Siblings Sibling is not talking with us right now. I have tried calling and texting Mary, but she's so far ignoring me. That's all I have to say about this. And then there's one more update.
Okay.
1 year later, November 23, 2023. Hi everyone, this incident has been on my family's mind this week, and my son encouraged me to write an update. Last year, I hoped to talk with Mary in person about what Chris did, but she blew me off and did not visit home for the rest of Thanksgiving weekend. We spoke briefly on the phone a few days later, but she denied that Chris stole her turkey, even though Chris taunted my son about it, basically admitting what he did. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law passed away about 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. The
Oh,
ripple effects were profound. Our family expected her to live through Christmas, so it was very difficult to lose what we thought would be her last holiday. And it was even more bitter than the Thanksgiving dinner that it was her actual last holiday that was ruined by Chris and his incomprehensible theft. From there, it got even worse. Mary flew in for my mother-in-law's funeral. I mentioned that Chris might travel with her to see a concert in our city. We made it very clear that he was not welcoming our home or at the funeral. He ultimately stayed at their cottage, but on the day of the visitation, a bomb threat was made against the funeral home, and we all had to evacuate while the police conducted a search. The police were never able to prove it, but I strongly suspect Chris made the threat. My mother-in-law's visitation was cut significantly short, and she was denied a dignified end. Some people who wanted to pay their respects ultimately could not because of the evacuation and inspection. One of my husband's siblings has gone no contact with us because they blame my husband and I for ruining the end of mother-in-law's life by inviting Chris to Thanksgiving last year. Mary refused to take any responsibility for how her relationship with Chris has damaged her family. We, husband and I and Mary, have mutually decided to go no contact. My son has minimal contact with Mary and follows her on social media. Apparently, Mary and Chris are still together. I'm sorry, I have such a sad update, but my family and I are very grateful for the support we received last year. Thank you. And then someone in the comments asked, no contact means cutting her off financially, correct? And OP says part of it is. There is money in a trust from mother-in-law that Mary is legally entitled to, and my husband is administrator. We also do not want her out on the streets or to abandon her education. That will drag her down even further as a person.
Yeah.
That's
Well, your daughter make her choices, so you make your choices. It's that's so bizarre. Like, why would you do that to a funeral?
because he's a little shit. That's why.
That's so bizarre.
He's a very shitty person who doesn't care about anyone or anything. He doesn't even care about Mary. He's probably drawing her alone. He's probably cheating on her. He's probably doing all these things, manipulating her emotionally, definitely. But she's an asshole too for letting it happen.
All that happening to the family, especially since she knows how special what does Thanksgiving. Like, you would tell somebody, okay, like we have somebody who's about to pass away, so they're trying to make this more like commemorable for her.
Like family only.
Well, maybe he thought, well, I'm gonna make it very commemorable, so I'm gonna steal the turkey.
Which I think that even though that was the last holiday with grandma, I think that they should see in a way of how many times in your life you can see a turkey being stolen. So they should be glad that they gave her that experience.
Sure.
At least me as a grandma, I'll be laughing it off. I'll be like,
And if
well,
you're in your deathbed,
I'll be like, this was funny. Give me some chicken.
no,
I don't know. It's sad, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel kind of I feel like a certain way about the family member that is mad at them for inviting Chris. I'm like, how could the parents have predicted that Chris was going to steal the turkey? Nobody ever would have think of that.
nobody. Yeah, you inviting somebody, you cannot predict how that person's gonna behave on the Thanksgiving, so it makes no sense.
Yeah, well, okay, that was a really good, something that doesn't happen usually.
Exactly, but very bizarre, especially the bomb threat at the funeral. Even very bizarre.
Yeah, yeah, but that was definitely him. There's no going.
Yeah, that's so weird. Do we have an extra story today?
Yes,
Oh, we are full of it.
we have an extra story, but I will let you choose.
Okay.
So one of them says, am I the asshole for canceling the plans for Thanksgiving after my parents called my brother's baby their first grandchildren?
Okay.
Or my girlfriend, 26, 23 female, broke up with me, 27 male, last week, but she still expects me to give her a ride home for Thanksgiving.
Let's go with the first one.
The first one, the grandchildren?
Yeah, because I'm done with people who feel like they're entitled. Like, take an Uber. Jesus Christ.
Okay. It's okay. We can read it next time. We can add it to like a bonus story.
Sure. But
So,
again, nowadays, take an Uber.
yeah. So it comes from the subreddit Best of Predator Updates, and the title is Am I the asshole for canceling the plans for Thanksgiving after my parents called my brother's baby their first grandchild? Um, So original post was on November 11, 2022. Again, a very old post. And it says, I, 32 female, have been with my wife, Eva, 34 female, for 8 years now, and we have been married for five. She was a single mom of three kids when we started dating. She had two daughters, now 10 and 12, and a son, now 16. I have watched these kids grow up, and I've read bedtime stories, done bath time, the first days of school, PTA meetings, all of it. I very much consider them to be my kids, and they've been calling me mom for almost 6 years. My brother Ivan, 28 male, just had a baby girl with his fiancée, Sarah, 27 female. I love my niece, and my kids adore their cousin. My kids have been the only grandchildren on my side of the family since Eva and I got together. And there's never been a moment where the kids and my wife were treated like they didn't belong. My brother is their uncle. My mom and dad are their nana and pop. The kids see my family as their family, and I always thought that my family felt the same way about them. The kids and I were over at my brother's house just hanging out, and my parents ended up dropping by with gifts for my niece. Ivan laughed when he saw the toys and told her mom and dad that they were going to end up spoiling her rotten. My mom said my niece is their first grandchild. Of course, they have to spoil her. My kids were sitting in the living room with all of us, and my youngest daughter looked hurt when she realized what my mother said. My son and my 12-year-old didn't fully react to it, but I could tell it bothered them both too. Sarah spoke up and said, Oh, you mean your first grandbaby, not your first grandchild. My dad shook his head and replied that my niece was their first grandchildren. I did not want my kids to keep sitting there and listen to that, so I handed my son my keys and told him to wait in the car with his sisters. When they were gone, I asked my parents why the hell they say that my kids were not their grandchildren. And my mom said they could not be their grandchildren because they were not really my children. My wife and I were going to be hosting Thanksgiving at our house this year, but I told my parents that if they did not view my kids as their family, then they could just host a meal at their own house with their real family while I spent the holiday with mine. I left before they could say anything else to me, and my wife and I reiterated,
Rated
say
A.
eso mismito, exactly that, to the children that they will always be my kids and I will always be their own mom, regardless of her DNA. My brother is pissed at me now because he thinks I reacted too harshly and that I should try to see where my parents are coming from. My mom texted saying that she and my dad love the kids, but they still are not their grandchildren. She hopes that we can come to understand that because she does not want to ruin my niece's first Thanksgiving. I have not replied back. I meant what I say, but I'm worried that maybe I'm reacting too harshly. ETA info, like is adding more info. I adopted all three of the kids about 4 years ago, so they are not just my parents' step grandchildren. Even if I hadn't legally adopted them, they still be my kids in my eyes. My wife's parents do not have a relationship with the kids. When my wife came out, they pretty much stopped speaking with her entirely. Their bio dad is not involved, and neither is his family. He lost his rights to the children before Eva and I started dating. The 10-year-old has never met him, the 12-year-old does not remember him, and the 16-year-old wants nothing to do with him. My parents wanted the kids to call them Nana and Pop. I did not make the kids to start calling them that. That's
That's it.
that's it for now.
Okay. I mean, I understand where the old thoughts came from, like their first biological grandkid, but you don't say that in front of the other kids. You know, it's not like I understand what they're trying to say, like their first baby kid, a grandchild that they have from one of their own blood, per se. Um, but you don't say stuff like that in front of the other kids, especially when they're there, like
Just
literally next to you.
put yourself in this kid's shoes.
I mean, it's not, they don't need to put themselves in the kids' shoes. They need to, they are grown-ups and not, or they're acting like kids.
Let's say you adopt a baby. Would you like for one of your parents to say that these are not your kids because this baby is not biologically yours?
That's their problem.
But would you go to Thanksgiving with them if they say something like that
Nah,
in front of your kid?
yeah, I just brushed that off, honestly. It's like, because at the end of the day, it's like, that's how you feel, good for you. but just, limited contact would be established. It's
Yeah.
still good for you, but you know, it's not like because at the end of the day, you will still have to deal with the family and all that. And as they get older, of course, you don't have much time left with them and yada yada yada. So you don't want to make like a beef out of something when a holiday when you're supposed to be sharing with one another. It would not. It's not like they're disrespecting the kid, verbally or physically, but emotionally they are destroying them though. But I'm like, that would just make you stronger.
Yeah. I think I am more radical in the sense of if somebody says that,
Oh, you're a chismosa, mija. You'll be like, I ain't going there. You don't want my kids, and you're not gonna see my face. You're not gonna see my kids. You're not gonna see me ever again. That's you.
that's what I say. I can be radical. I'd be like, there's
And
no way you're making my children feel less.
and then she makes comment like her mom might be a little cuckoo sometimes.
I didn't say that. She said sometimes she
Sorry,
makes
a
noise.
little dramatic.
Yeah, a little dramatic and I can be annoying. I am very dramatic, but this is about making the kids feel less than the other kid because they're little, especially the 10-year-old, and she's gonna think about that all her life. And that's not only there, she might also think it in other aspects of her life.
That's fine, but mentally and realistically and just stating the plain truth, they are not the grandkids.
But you don't,
Hey,
I don't know. I wouldn't.
like I
I
said,
think that
it's
once
not
you
like it's that's how they feel. It does hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It definitely will hurt, especially if they have 5 years already taking care of and seeing them and spending holidays. But at the end of the day, you cannot force them to predict or say or feel a certain way.
But then why insist that the kids call you Nana and Bob if you don't care about them, you know?
It's not
That
like they
makes
don't care. It's like they are excited to have a kids from one of their seeds that have their seeds in there.
okay.
No? It's not like they don't care. They might put it out wrong. And remember, these folks are old. So it's like,
Old mentality.
hmm?
Old mentality.
Exactly. So remember, we're talking about the way that you were reading this story, it sounds like you're talking about two
Yeah.
wife and wife,
Yes.
the kids.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's why they say that the wife, when she came out, her parents like told her they didn't want anything to do with her. So
Mhm.
this is why the kids don't have.
Any parent support from the other side. Exactly. So imagine for them, it's already they've been accepting that already. It's a huge milestone for all folks. So it's again, it's just the way that they act. People are old. They that old timers have no consideration whatsoever for how you feel or the thing they say, and that's sadly the truth.
Okay. Do you want to see what OP did
Go
on
ahead.
his update November 17, 2022? I think the first one was November 11th, so it's a few days later. Hi, I thought I'd just leave you all with an update here since it doesn't look like as thought things are going to change anytime soon. My wife and I talked with all the three of the kids separately and asked them what they wanted to do for Thanksgiving, if they wanted my parents there, if they still wanted to see them. My son and oldest daughter have made it very clear that they're mostly upset that my parents were hurting their younger sister's feeling. And they felt that if my parents apologized to her and tried to make it up to her, then they'd be okay with seeing them still. My 10-year-old took it the hardest out of the three. For her, they're the only grandparents she has ever known. And this whole thing really crushed her. My wife and I explained to her and to all of the kids that none of this was her fault, that she did not cause it, that we are both equally her moms and she's equally our kid, no matter what DNA says. She told us that she didn't want to talk to my parents, but that she wanted me to make sure they knew that she was not mad at them, she was just hurt. I called my dad and told him how hurt my kids were and by what was said by him and my mom, and that I will appreciate if they will apologize to the kids for being inconsiderate of their presence. in their presence and their feelings. My dad said that he and my mother never intended to hurt the kids' feelings, but they cannot change the fact that those are not their grandchildren, and that the kids should not be so upset at the truth. I hung up on him. I know I cannot make them view my kids as their grandchildren, but the fact that both my parents are being so inconsiderate of the fact that they seriously upset my children just make this worse, this whole thing even worse. I texted my brother and told him that I was sorry if he felt like he was being put in the middle of something, but as a parent, my priority is my kids, and I will not apologize for protecting them from what I think will hurt them further. I guess Sarah talked to him or something because he apologized to me and said that he had lied for his daughter to have Thanksgiving with her aunts and her cousins. I did also thank Sarah separately for offering my parents an out and trying to salvage the situation. She's a total sweetheart. I love her. Thanksgiving is going to be hosted at my house just without my parents there. It's unfortunate, but like I say, my kids are my priority, and I refuse to have them sit at a table with people who cannot even take a minute to show them some empathy or basic kindness. I did not expect that post to take off the way it did, so I was not able to respond to all of you because there were just so many, but I really appreciated all of your feedback and suggestions. Well, he took the radical way, like me.
Which is fine. It's valid. It's valid.
Feel sad because what if the parents keep doing this? What if Christmas comes and they get one gift for each kid and then they go, here, guys, blah, blah, blah. And then they get to the grandbaby like, oh my God, my only grandchildren, here is 3 gifts for you. You know, that's the part that will make me very, very mad.
Yeah, but again, the father of the person writing say like why they're upset at the fact, but it is the truth. Again, all mentality, you know? It's not like that will not change in them, unfortunately. They're
Mm.
gonna see the kids, okay, that's such and such kids, and this is our grandson. So we love these kids, but this is our grandson, you know? That will not change at all.
That's why he's saying that he's putting his kids first and like as a priority.
She's putting her kids first. Yeah, that's which is fine. Like however any parents will do. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, this is all we have about the Thanksgiving drama. This is why I said at the beginning, I like to read the drama, but I do not like to be involved with it because this is messy. I would feel very bad.
Denise's definition of messy, it's very eloquent and very sophisticated messy.
What do you mean?
So we hope, guys, that you have enjoyed this sophisticated low messiness over the holidays. Uh,
Low mess.
from the previous years. Um, s- and we hope that you guys do not have to encounter anything like this
Hope
during
no one stole
coming
your
holiday.
turkey.
Uh, well, since Thanksgiving is going to be tomorrow, because
Yeah.
this is being dropping up on a Wednesday, Thanksgiving is Thursday. So we want to wish you all a happy holidays and enjoy the turkey. And for those who does hates the turkey, like moi, enjoy the lechon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not Grinches, enjoy Thanksgiving while you're watching your Christmas tree light. Because that's what I do.
Yeah, she literally sent me a picture of her on Sunday watching movies next to the Christmas tree on during daytime. Um,
Watching Christmas movies with my Christmas blanket in front of the Christmas tree. It was the best. And if my sister is watching this, watch the video because you can see Mom sleeping peacefully right behind me.
and I guess you might notice that. You might notice the big boy behind you sleeping, so it's fine.
Okay, thank you so much, and we wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, and until the next edition,
Yay!
Denise might have some drama on her own. Let's see. Let's hope not, but who knows?
Bye.